A lot of times people like dismiss things as fanfiction, as if it's a bad thing. But in reality, sometimes fanfiction could even be just as good as the original, or even better at sometimes. Enter the Legacies of the DCAU, a webcomic created by talented artists and writers. A lot of them are the hosts of the Watchtower Database YouTube Channel. This comic seems to be a take on a Crisis on Infinite Earth-ish type event occurring in the DCAU, Shades of Marvel's Secret Invasion. So, yeah. And there's just so much else going on here. It is very thick with story, and it's very obvious that there was a lot of care in crafting into this. I want to be clear, this video isn't a deep dive, because with how much story and detail there is, it would take me literally forever to go into it. Instead, it's just a summary, and at the end, I'll share my opinions. Issue 0, Strange Visions, is an introduction to this world, being narrated by Phantom Strange, over flashback panels to historic DCAU events, including Brainwashed Superman, Hawkgirl's relationship with Hro Talak, and Dick Grayson quitting as Robin. The detail in this comic by the DCAU is amazing, which makes sense if you've ever seen the Watchtower Database YouTube channel, because they're very intensive with canon. Issue 1, the beginning of the end, is about a grown-up Terry McGenius and even older man Bruce Wayne running around Gotham during an alien invasion. They go to the home of Justice League Unlimited villain Chronos, who's a time traveler, where Bruce Wayne wakes him up only out of a comatose state, as he wants to travel back in time before the invasion started. But instead, Chronos just portals away, leaving the future screwed. Issue 2, Destroyed, Part 1, about the Justice League Detroit cleaning up after the destruction of Darkseid, after Justice League Unlimited finale. The 7 OG Leaguers are in the Watchtower, being informed of a new organization called Checkmate that Amanda Waller is the queen of, and that Big Barda is actually giving a speech of the new gods at Congress. We're also then shown other members, including the Thinker, a Flash villain we also saw in Justice League Unlimited for a time, and a mysterious new leader who I'm fairly certain is going to be Mr. Bones. Well, it is Mr. Bones, I'm going to be honest. I know this because I read ahead, but it was obvious as Mr. Bones because he had a bony hand. Issue 3, Destroyed Part 2, continues the story of Checkmate, with Chase Cameron, Peacemaker, and Nemesis, all agents of Checkmate, going off into Apocalypse. Lois Lane, who attended the conference of the New Gods, calls Superman to inform him about everything. Meanwhile, on Apocalypse, Checkmate gets into a fight with Parademons, which ends up in Peacemaker actually dying. Chase and Nemesis then arm a bomb to Apocalypse, despite the fact that they're being ordered to disarm it, but they don't. Issue 4, Destroyed Part 3, starts with Mr. Miracle helping Checkmate disarm the bomb. Back on Earth, Superman is trying to convince the leaders of the world that not all new gods can be blamed for Darkseid's actions. Not even all Apocalypse new gods can be blamed for Darkseid's action. Just look at Big Barda herself. Orion, who is with Superman, then goes to Apocalypse and decides to fulfill his birthright, thinking that maybe he could stop war from, leaving Apocalypse. We're also then shown that the Justice League, we're also then shown that during the Justice League Unlimited finale, Arkham Asylum was actually hit, and now the criminals are on the loose, including Clayface, Catwoman, and I believe I also saw Killer Croc. In the comic, ends with Amanda Waller and Mr. Bones arguing. This spam comic is amazing. While a lot of people from fandoms like to deem things fanfic as if it's an insult. But in reality, some fan comics have more effort put into them than actual comics. Since I only summed up the 4 issues, I had to let a lot of the Easter eggs I noticed go. I recommend checking this out for yourself. I 100% recommend, I definitely recommend reading this. Also, I just realized I said 4 issues when I'm fairly certain I actually reviewed 5 issues. It's because I forgot issue 0. I also love seeing characters in DCAU form who we didn't actually get to see in the DCAU. Like Peacemaker, Chase Cameron, Mr. Bones, and yeah. I can't recommend this comic anymore. I really enjoyed it, and I can't wait to see what happens next.